Think about the standard Danaher puts on the black belt. Jake Shield trains with Danaher. What must Danaher be thinking? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's funny because Big Dan's not even a black belt. He's been training for a long time. He's not a black belt. Helena had to win the world championships to get her black belt. And, there's some other people that don't have black belts under Danaher. So, Danaher is more old school. I don't know. I don't even know if he's claiming Jake Shields at this point. I mean, I wouldn't. I would not claim Jake Shields. Speaking of Jake Shields, says Jake Shields defends controversial black belt promotion of financial guru Derek Moneyberg amid outcry. So look at that. Yo, listen, I need to change. Let me screenshot this. Where's my screenshot? There we go. I'm gonna change that as the thumbnail later, guys. But look at that. Moneyberg. The thing is, Moneyberg has artwork. He has actual artwork in his house like that. He got like pictures of himself. He's got sculptures of himself. He got Jake Shields wearing his rash guard with his face on it. Jake Shields, what the heck, bro? What are you doing over here? What is Jake Shields doing over here? So we're gonna read this. Let's see. I think that's the comment I was looking for, Mikey. Let's see. Mikey says he's a legit black belt, guys. I train with him all the time. He knows more than most black belts. I promise you that. So Mikey's over here insulting us, basically. Thanks, Mikey. Mikey's compromised, guys. I would no longer listen to Mikey after this post. Can we downvote on Instagram? Somebody said, what guard does he play? How much did he pay you to say that? Mikey says, so are both Gordon and I not qualified to say someone is a black belt? I guess not. I guess not. Not after this. Is that what you're saying right now? Yep, I'm saying it. Mikey, he did give some good black belts to the movement art guys, I believe, in Maryland or somewhere. But after this, that takes away all of Mikey's credibility. Someone says, after this, I'm seriously starting to question your taste in pizza and pasta. Might have to report you to the Italian authorities. Nighttime World, he says, Elvis Presley was a 6th-degree black belt in American Kempo. The dude could barely kick past his waistline. Yo, I mean, in America, the martial art has always been compromised. That money, you see the money floating? That's the money Moneyberg gave to Jake Shields to give him the black belt right there. The fact that we have people like Mikey, I haven't heard Gordon really defending him. Mikey's been defending it. So I don't know. That just makes me question Mikey more. Everything Mikey does makes me question him more. The ducking the opponents, the switching teams left and right, to promoting Moneyberg, supporting Moneyberg. I don't know. That's 3 strikes, Mikey. You're out of here, Mikey. Says Mikey, we're merely stating the obvious. That money skews even the highest of authorities in any given field. And no, Mikey, you are not immune to that. My voice is about to go. If Mikey signs off, let it rest. Heck no. Screw that. Says Mikey isn't even the fact that he got promoted quickly to black belt that bothers me. It's the fact that he has been outed for having very shady practices when it comes to his coaching business. The info is only a Google search away. Mikey's good at working with sketchy people. He worked with Chattery. He's working with Dana. He's working with Moneyberg. Mikey compromised, guys. I'm sorry. I know you guys like Mikey. He's funny, the Darth Rigatoni, etc., but, Someone says, show rolling footage then. There isn't any. It was a private lesson. IBJF wouldn't consider them a black belt. You're basically tossing rules aside that even you follow to get a black belt. I heard that he doesn't train with the general population. If that's true, I do have less respect for the belt. Even if the knowledge is high, there is a grind and rolling with everyone from all walks of life that I believe makes one's jiu-jitsu stronger and more true to the original intention of self-defense. Come on, Jersey Strong. You know you can't answer a question with another question. Funny that he didn't respond to your question. He's on the payroll. Yep. Just like Jake Shields. Gordon who? Just wondering what you're trying to say here. You and Gordon actually have less credibility because time and time again, you've co-opted billionaires in efforts to make an extra bit of cash at the expense of ethics. Everyone has a price, but he can simply do a tournament at Masters at least once. Yeah, even the guy that runs BJJ Fanatics alongside Bernardo, he competes. He competed. The guy at Kansai, he competed. A lot of those guys compete. Nighttime World says Mikey goes with the money. Mikey goes where the money flows. He has no sense of morality. Yeah, it's true. I mean, Mikey, can you defend that statement, Mikey? I mean, you jump ship left and right. We haven't really seen you build anything. We've seen you leave everything. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's the state of our sport right now. Someone says, show some footage of him training and rolling. I've seen a little bit, but it was like during a private lesson. You know them black belts be getting their butt kicked in their private lessons. They've been giving up submissions and everything. I've seen it happen too. I never done it. You do a private lesson with me, I'm kicking your behind just like normal. Said I'd like to see him corner/coach a blue belt at a local Naga tournament. I saw your story, but help me think through this. If black belt legitimacy is now tied to IQ and access to world champions, does this mean that the belt reflects individual privilege more than collective struggle? I am doing a PhD on this very tension between knowledge and experience, and I earned my black belt through years on the mat with everyday training partners. So I wonder if we are still talking about the same kind of knowledge, or are some of us now outside the cave looking in? Yeah, I don't know, man. Moneyberg, all Moneyberg has done is take private lessons and never rolled with anybody, really. Nighttime World says the dude has a huge gut and he was training with his black socks on. Yeah. Mikey says he's better than Mikey says he's legit, and I think homeboy over here, Jake Shields, said he's better than 95% of people out here. So I mean, I clearly don't believe that, but that's what Jake Shields says. Mikey says he's better than most black belts, which is insulting to black belts. I don't know what to say, man. I mean, there's some bull crap. I mean, if that dude ain't ever rolled, he ain't gonna compete. He for sure ain't competed. And if you guys saying I'm being too hard on him, I believe he was a blue belt last year in 2024. So he went from blue belt to black belt in 2025. So I mean, that ain't right at all. So I hope now people can realize Jake Shields is just another grifter that's being used and think he's getting ahead. Craig Jones called this guy out ages ago. Did he? I want to find that. Was Craig Jones warning us about? I can't play that video right there. Oh, they fought before. Let's see. They got a Polaris video. Let's see if I can play this.
Guys, Jake Shields podcast with Gordon 22 is fucking rock solid. Obviously nothing but the truth. We left the gym. B-team forms because really John was just training us too hard. Not because he was slapping the shit out of people. Not because of the abuse Gordon was doing to people along with his partner. All those things straight over their heads. Me and Jake Shields had a fucking long conversation about this when the team broke up and he came train at B Team. No, I'm not going to do Jake Shields' fucking podcast if you can't even remember that. I'll probably explain these things on my own podcast.
Gordon Ryan went on Jake Shields' podcast and made some comments about Craig Jones and B-Team. And Craig Jones decided to respond to multiple things. One is, it seems he's hinting at more reasons why B-Team members, the core group, left the Dawn of Her Death squad in Puerto Rico and started the B-Team.
Guys, Jake Shields' podcast with Gordon 22 is rock solid. Obviously nothing but the truth. We left the gym. B-Team forms because really John was just training us too hard. Not because he was slapping the shit out of people, not because of the abuse Gordon was doing to people along with his partner. All those things straight over their heads. Me and Jake Shields had a long conversation about this when the team broke up and he came train at B Team. No, I'm not going to do Jake Shields' podcast if you can't even remember that. I'll probably explain these things on my own podcast.
Are we ever going to get the full truth publicly?
Yeah, so a lot of drama, guys. I didn't really know. You know, I'm not part of the Dan Her squad. How would I know all this stuff? Yeah, I mean, I'm for sure not going to watch that podcast. I'll leave that up to you guys. But I guess, yeah, I didn't know there was that much drama with the Jake Shields thing. So it says Craig Jones, 3.5 years, 3.5 year black belt to Derek Moneyberg. A lot of contentious opinions online. I think there is truly only one way to settle this, and that is in the pit. Who should he face? So Craig Jones heard our podcast, and he said he's going to have a match for Moneyberg. Moneyberg's going to have a match. Let's go, Moneyberg. Who you going to fight? He should fight the guy from BJJ Fanatics. Mike, what is that guy's name? I met him. My brain's fried. I can't remember. He should fight the guy from BJJ Fanatics, though. Who else could he fight? Who would you want to see Moneyberg fighting, guys? Let me know. And it can't be somebody he gave money to. It can't be somebody that can be bought off. Moneyberg, he'll buy that person off. All right, I'll give you 30,000 not to beat me up. Let me tap you out. 50,000, 100,000. Moneyberg got money, so he might match Craig Jones. You need somebody with some integrity, which might be nobody in this sport. Am I gonna have to beat up Moneyberg? Moneyberg can't buy me off. No, I'm gonna grab that leg, bro. Michael Zinga, yeah. I don't know if they're cool though. Michael Zinga might take that money though. He should fight a blue belt with 2 years of actual training. Yeah. That blue belt might tear him up, bro. That blue belt, it got to be somebody in the same Masters division because he looks old. But bro, them blue belts, that blue belt be happy just to be on CJI. He gonna tear him up. Mallingtons, what's up? Jason Whitfield said he should fight Mark Zuckerberg. Nah, Mark got too much money. That's a liability. I don't know how Mark Zuckerberg was able to compete in that other tournament. You can't afford the insurance policy if you hurt Zuckerberg. Kendall says, I'm ready. Kendall, get out of there, girl. He gonna buy you off. Kendall, he gonna buy you off, girl. He gonna take you out on the town. Mallington says, easy money if you're a legit black belt, though, right? Nah, we want to see him fight a blue belt. Mikey and Jake Shields said he could beat 95% of people, and that he knows more than He knows more than most black belts. So I don't know what to say. Maybe Kendall could get out there. I don't trust him around you, Kendall. I don't trust Moneyberg around you. He looked like a creepy guy. ATT Dragon, Jesus. He says, who could possibly compete with a 3.5-year black belt? Only Gordon Love Jiu-Jitsu comes to mind. Who could give him an honest run for his money? Put him to fight Mo. I've never seen Mo grapple. Have you guys seen Mo, the guy from ADCC grapple? I've never seen him grapple. Graham Hawker, what's up, Graham? What's going on, bro? He says he may end up with the best prosthetic money can buy. Easy money, yeah. I don't know if it'd be easy. Mario Lopez, yeah, let's put Mario Lopez on there. They're not in the same weight class. You got Gabby. Gabby would do it. Again, I don't want Moneyberg creeping on those girls. It says 42-year-old father of 3 blue belt hobbyists here ready. Bro, you about to take his lunch money, bro. That would be the funniest 3-minute match ever. Moneyberg ain't got no cardio. He only does private lessons. Seth Daniels, nah, don't put Seth Daniels on there. Nah, I don't want to see Seth Daniels do that match. Somebody said Mo. Joe Rogan ducking he ducking Liver King. Joe Rogan don't grapple either. Yeah, Graham, it's been a long time, bro. Hope you're doing well. You got your black belt too, Graham. All right, Graham, you ready, bro? Graham, we're gonna send you versus Moneyberg, okay? I'm sending Graham out there. Craig says, who's HPU coaching? Who is that? Oh no, Craig Jones, he tagged Josh Sanders in there. No, Craig, don't tag that dude. Why did Craig Jones tag Josh Sanders in there? Craig evil for that. We signing you up, bro. Where'd he go? Craig said Josh Sanders has the final solution. I don't know if that was a good joke, Craig. That was too much. That went over too many people's head till we clicked on that link. I don't think that was a good joke, Craig. You gotta leave that joke alone, bro. Someone said Jesus Christ. My struggle is to find a okay. Says throwing your fellow Aussie under the bus. Come on now. I mean, to be fair, Josh Sanders threw himself under the bus. Says Craig Jones owns jiu-jitsu comedy, literally the GOAT, and nobody is even close. Let's see what else they got to say. I'm sure if you ask Mighty Mouse, he would be happy to pop out. Maybe. Mighty Mouse is a little too small to fight Moneyberg, though. Give him Gabby. Similar build. Gabby bigger than all these dudes. Graham says, of course, I could have my kids set for life. Yeah. Graham, don't take that money from him, Graham. He might give you $1 million. Craig tagging everybody. So Craig gonna market. He gonna use every opportunity to market. He gonna throw the Nazi sympathizers under the bus. He gonna throw Moneyberg under the bus. I can't hate him too much though. Someone says time for Zuck to show his stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Shout out to Craig Jones for talking about Moneyberg. All these other guys, Mikey over here defending Moneyberg. Big Dan defending Moneyberg. Jake Shields defending Moneyberg. Talking about Craig Jones, he challenges Team Khabib. Mika Galval could tap out all 5 back to back. Is that the same post we read earlier? Oh, you know what? I never actually read this post. Let's read it real fast. It says, thank you to all my coaches who helped me earn my black belt. I got it in 3.5 years. I also spent about 3,000 hours on the mats. I had one-on-one training with the best training team in history. Hoist Gracie said, I did the work of 10 years in 3.5. Hoist Gracie, I mean, who listening to him? 0 days missed because no excuse is good enough to give up on your goals. I'm very grateful to everyone who supported me. Tech said, congrats. Tech said, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm honestly asking since he carries his professional level so high. Now that Derek Moneyberg received his black belt on the 3rd of July, 2025, it makes you wonder, is he going to compete? Well, if you didn't compete at all during that time, you're not going to compete at black belt. Says, while some legends like BJ Penn and Gordon Ryan got their black belts quickly, the IBJF has strict minimum time in belts rules that most federations don't. So he could likely compete in Naga and others, but not in IBJF. Michael Zinga said, congrats. So we can't have Michael Zinga out there competing. Jason Rao over there. He over there. Jason Rao compromised too. Michael Zinga compromised. Jason Rao compromised. It's crazy. Some of your favorite grapplers over there. You know, they cook, bro. And I like Jason Rao. I like Michael Zinga. But that makes me question him. I'm questioning you. You know, Moneyberg, I'm great we have people like Moneyberg because that really shows you people's character, their ideas. People that I like, you know, they be decided with Moneyberg. I'm like, all right, bro. I don't know, man. If you like Moneyberg and you like Josh Saunders, all right, bro. We for sure ain't gonna get along. So Jason Rao compromised too. Sean Strickland, he crazy, but he say some good stuff every now and again. He say some messed up stuff too. He got CTE, guys. Strickland says, laugh at my LMAO, but hey, least everyone in this pick got paid extremely well. At least he was on the money. He got a black belt and sucked off. Okay, can't say that. Money is powerful. I hope every one of my coaches wears a t-shirt with a picture of my face at my black belt ceremony. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. This guy thought that no one that actually trains would come across this post, and Strickland found it. The internet is undefeated. Surprised he hasn't deleted it yet. What an embarrassment. So, if I see your name in here supporting Moneyberg, bro, all right, man. You know, someone said, when did you get your purple and brown belt? He didn't. He didn't get those belts. He went from blue belt straight to black belt. It says, what an absolute joke. Everyone in the picture should be ashamed, making BJJ look bad by giving belts away. Newsflash, this has been going on for a long time. I know a lot of people that gave belts away over the years. You know, usually they give it to the rich people. The rich people get their belts faster. You poor, you're gonna have to take 10 years to get your black belt if you poor. Jake Shields has always been a grifter, but disappointed in the others. Someone said, done any competing along the way or group classes or straight privates? The few that got it that fast are all world champions, and even then there were time requirements between each belt. Nope, not when you got money. No requirement needed. Graham says 15. 15 years? What? 15 years of training? Graham, you should have just taken private lessons, bro. You would have gotten it in 3.5 years, bro. Jock Ray might have given you that belt in about 4 years. I'm joking. Don't tell Jock Ray I said that. Where's Mikey at? Hey, 15. Graham over there training for 15 years to get his black belt. And Moneyberg got it in 3.5 years. He ain't broken a sweat. My man ain't broke no sweat to get that black belt. Graham over there, you gotta fight killers to get his black belt. Yeah, I don't see anybody else. I don't know. Makes you really wonder. I question anybody that supported Moneyberg. You know, Mikey, all these guys over here. Jason Rao over there supporting Moneyberg. I'm disappointed in Jason Rao. Michael Zinga. Yeah. Talking about Moneyberg, we got the Reddit post. All right, this your boy Mikey, guys. Your boy Mikey, you guys look up to. I'm urging you guys to rethink following a lot of these people. Mikey says, Derek Moneyberg received his black belt in 3.5 years, and people are upset about this. First of all, as we know, people all have different IQ levels. Derek is a genius. Does anybody believe Derek Moneyberg is a genius? He named himself Moneyberg. Why would I? That dude ain't smart. He named himself Moneyberg. Have you seen the artwork in his house? Yo, get out of here, Mikey. All right, Mikey, I'm done with you, bro. I'm done with you. I'm done with Mikey. Says, first of all, Derek Moneyberg is we're going to call him Moneyberg. Moneyberg is a genius, super intelligent, super intelligent, and has the ability to grasp and learn things that could take regular people years. So Moneyberg's just smarter than us, Graham. He's smarter than us. Not to say the money didn't help. You telling me, Mikey, that money didn't help him get that belt that fast? It was his intelligence. Mikey, you say you're pretty smart. You didn't get your belt in 3.5 years, Mikey. Mikey been training since he was 5 years old. Man, Mikey just insulted all of us, basically. Secondly, Moneyberg has every day one of the best people in the world, all world champions, including Gordon and myself, traveling to him and teaching him every day. So imagine someone with an extremely high IQ, plus the resources to train privately with the best people in the world every day for 3.5 years. Does that change your opinion? No, it doesn't, Mikey. It doesn't change our opinion. Why are you selling out, Mikey? Get out of here. I'm sorry if it was peeking over there. I'm upset. Says knowledge is only a small part. Apparently, he's a genius. And because he trained with world champions every day, that means he's as good as the world champions. And he deserves a black belt 3.5 years. Graham over here Graham had to work 15 years to get his black belt. You telling me Moneyberg worked harder than Graham? I don't believe that. So imagine someone with an extremely high IQ plus the resources to train it privately with the best. He ain't trained with nobody in a group setting. He ain't competed. He ain't rolled with nobody he didn't pay. Mikey, bro. What the heck, Mike? What the hell, Mikey? What's wrong with you, man? What is wrong with Mikey Musumeci? Wish I had trained with champions. Graham, I'm sure you trained with champions. Weren't you there when Lucas was there and Cobrinha? You train with John Thomas. You train with Pedro. You train with a lot of champions. They didn't get their belts. Nobody I know got their belt in 3.5 years. If that ain't the biggest red flag, and Mikey, people like Mikey and Big Dan and these other dudes, they be attacking us for calling them out. They over here attacking us because we're like, bro, what the heck is going on? Bruno, yeah. They over here attacking us, man. Knowing full well this man a red flag. Mikey, you a red flag too, man. Says, does that change your opinion and view on the speed of his promotion? Derek knows more jiu-jitsu than the majority of black belts in our sport. I promise you that. So Mikey saying that attacks us. Mikey, you're bringing shame onto jiu-jitsu. Mikey is the Darth Rigatoni, guys. He was supposed to be Anakin. He's supposed to bring balance to the Force, but instead he aligns himself with the. Isn't that the Emperor right there? Isn't that the Emperor? He says forked out the dough for Coyote. Mikey is Darth Rigatoni. I don't know why we thought Mikey was a good guy. He told us he's Darth Rigatoni. We should have believed him. He's on the dark side of the Force, over here selling himself out for money. We should have known that. You know, we thought Mikey was joking, guys, but he really is a Darth. He's a Sith. And I just need you guys to question these people you follow. You guys can question me. You guys can talk to me. If I made a mistake, I might try to defend myself, but ultimately, if I'm like, all right, man, I slipped up, guys. I made an error. It's over, Mikey. We had the high ground. No. I'll cut Mikey down for you guys. Zoom, 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 zoom. So that I'm making jokes about it, but it does make me sad to see people that are really great at jiu-jitsu, they making some decisions that I'm like, man, what are you doing, bro? I don't agree with most of these guys. I know you guys love him. Jason Whitfield, where's Jason Whitfield? He loved Gordo Ryan. I don't agree with most of these guys, man. You might like Mikey. I don't agree with Mikey. And I don't care what they say. I don't care how good they are at jiu-jitsu. I'm not gonna just because they're good at jiu-jitsu, I'm not gonna listen to them when they do crazy stuff. Mikey, I don't know. I feel like Mikey on the wrong side of a lot of stuff. I feel like this would be easily solved if he just posted some rolling footage. They have rolling footage, but it's during the private lessons. He's never grappled with regular people. This dude ain't real, man. This guy ain't real. Graham says, what happens if he starts teaching? What will it do to the sport? Mikey or Moneyberg? Mikey, I don't know, man. I hope Mikey don't teach nobody. Mikey, the thing with Mikey, he ain't really he doesn't I don't think he's really good at keeping those relationships. So I think what happened to Mikey, just how Mikey kind of switched teams left and right, I think some of his athletes would leave him ultimately. It's not rolling. That's true. I came here to say this. If he's legit, I don't care if he's rich or poor or looks a lot like a character from a fairy tale or not. Show me this IQ/tuition hybrid phenom rolling in anger. I don't know what that means, but he looks like Andre the Giant, smaller size twin. Let's see. If you're paying to have these guys travel to you to teach you every day, I'm willing to guess they will say anything to keep the gravy train rolling. Yeah, basically. It's amazing how one guy has damaged the integrity of basically all the top flight BJJ athletes and coaches. Yep. Moneyberg. Oh, Moneyberg. If anything, Moneyberg going to come out with a new scam for jiu-jitsu. Somehow, you're going to scam us somehow. Going to try to. Says, what a bunch of sellouts. Such dishonor selling out martial arts like that. That is what you call McDojo. Even though that guy might have been taught, he basically bought a McDojo BJJ black belt. He says, yeah, I'm stating it like that. It's only a sport. This dude is a hobbyist, and they aren't priests or rabbis. They gotta eat, and BJJ isn't sacred. Get out of here, bro. Honestly, who cares? I never understood people getting their panties in a twist about other people. Well, we want to keep our sport, not a McDojo. I don't care about him or any other athletes that train him. If he's training, good for him. If he's paying them to get a black belt, also good for him. I could care less about belts. Well, you don't care about the sport then. Some of these people aren't real on Reddit. I generally agree, but when you start look at me post on Instagram and anywhere else, you're asking for criticism. Says this guy is a grifter, a complete grifter who will use this to scam more people out of their hard-earned money. So, Mikey vouching for this dude is only going to get some other people scammed. But, Mikey doesn't care. These other guys don't care. They care if they get a little bit of pocket money. They'll these dudes will kill the sport for a little bit of pocket money. And then say how Moneyberg's better than 95% of us. I don't know. I'm insulted. It says because it diminishes and compromises the credentials of the art overall. Would the title doctor or pilot carry any weight if there is no footage or evidence of their practice besides the personalities that they are paying to say they are amazing? Would you get in a plane with that kind of pilot or have a surgeon operate in you under the same circumstances? I hope not. Belts, diplomas, it's all just materialistic things that to represent your accomplishments. Someone says, I recall that Anthony Bourdain trained twice a day every day and took privates for several years. He was very humble about his skill, earned his blue belt and competed, and won in his age bracket. What a contrast. Well, Anthony Bourdain was a real one, man. This Moneyberg ain't a real dude. I saw a couple interviews with Bourdain talking about BJJ, and he always made it a point of saying things like, I'm nowhere near as good as a lot of the regular guys at my gym who train hard but don't get the attention I get. But I'm a lot better than the version of myself who first tried jiu-jitsu. And Moneyberg, that's not who Moneyberg is. Moneyberg's he's the opposite of Anthony Bourdain. He ain't nowhere near as good as Anthony Bourdain. But now we get people like Moneyberg and people like Mikey, defending him. Yeah, I don't trust anything Mikey says. I'm sorry. Mikey can attack me. Come at me, Mikey. At least I know how to defend leg locks. I'm not gonna go out like Harrison did. Gotta respect some of the older legends in BJJ like Mendez, Hodger, and Homolo. Didn't I sell their belt to stroke some billionaire's ego? They might, they might. Mendez bros got Taynor over there. One of them definitely has sold black belts. Some of those guys probably did sell some black belts, but it was low key. Moneyberg over there made a big post about it, trying to get attention, and it backfired. I'm starting to dislike Mikey. A lot of people are. He's annoying AF, and now with this stuff, I'm fully on Mikey hate train. He really came alive when Reddit stopped making fun of him for being autistic. Hop on board my hate train, bro. Is that Mikey? Oh. Oh shoot. That's not what I wanted. Has he competed? Nope. Has he beaten anyone in a match? Nope. Have we seen him rolling? Nope. Are there any clips of him training? Nope. Is there any evidence whatsoever of his skill or merit? Nope. Other than the testimony of people who may or may not have been giving a ton of money. Mikey is a grifter too, but for some reason people think he's wholesome because he likes to eat pasta and pizza. I mean, to be honest, Mikey, look at who Mikey surrounds himself with. People like Chattery from One Championship, Dana White, Moneyberg. That tells you everything you need to know. Maybe Chattery, okay, maybe Mikey made a mistake. He went from Chattery and One Championship over to Dana White in the UFC, and then Moneyberg. So, Mikey's doing this on purpose. This is Mikey, man. Yeah, people think he's wholesome because he eats pasta and pizza. Apparently, he's Darth Rigatoni. He told us he was a Sith. We should have believed him. It was very strange to see Dana White take talking points coming out of Mikey's mouth. He's a Sith, bro. He's gonna say whatever the Emperor tells him to say. I'm sorry, Mikey, bro. You did this to yourself, Mikey. You were supposed to be the chosen one. The sad thing is, I don't think he realizes he is a grifter. He's been fed lines and thinking they are true, or at least that is what it appears to be. Used to love the guy, but all it's become too irritating. Ooh, I just came up with a great thumbnail for Mikey Musumeci video. Him with the Sith helmet on or something. Yeah, maybe I could do something with that. Mikey. Says also lied about that stuff. What did he lie about? 3 options: grifter, unintelligent, or both. Probably both. Also lied about that stuff too to make it to make it seem all more impressive when he told Joe Rogan he ate something like 8,000 calories every night. Professional bodybuilders don't even eat 8,000 calories a day. Are we to believe Mikey actually measured his calorie intake and it came out to a calorie level that is nearly twice that of a IFBB athlete? Says Chris Bumstead ate like 4,000 calories in the off season. He was twice the size of Mikey. I don't know. I don't believe anything coming out of Mikey's mouth anymore. We got another. Moneyberg, bro. Moneyberg, he ain't a real person, bro. Says Mikey was once hailed as the funny, quirky pizza kid, but after someone gave him a platform, he's been insufferable. And that's how it happens, you know? These guys, you give them a platform, they become Nazis and grifters. So, you know, I'm not sure if it's the people in the sport or it might be the sport that makes these people turn out like that. I don't know. He was a blue belt in December 2024. So he went from blue belt to black belt in like a couple months. He has a post about getting a brown belt in July 2024. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Says the nuclear the nuclear levels of irony in Mikey's post in regards to high IQ is absolutely bonkers. First, who gives a crap? This guy shows up to open mat, then he gets better, then he better be a black belt. That stuff's on him. It doesn't affect my life either way. Second, if you take financial advice from people like this, just remember that a fool will always part ways with his or her money. Third, why is Mikey hanging out with those who are 2 steps removed from being full-fledged nationalists? Is that a guy a nationalist? Isn't this the same guy that preaches about black belt honor and integrity, or is he into Mussolini now? Okay. Jason Whitfield says, what if Moneyberg was AI and we are all getting punked? Dang it, they got us. Rage bait. Nah, there's no way AI would make Moneyberg a person. Says Mikey is just another grifter looking to get paid, and honestly, I respect him less for this now. He's an incredible guy at jiu-jitsu, but that's about it. He kind of sold his soul to make money now. High IQ doesn't make one a good grappler, as there are plenty of black belts who are pretty stupid off the mat. That is true. Your favorite grapplers ain't that smart. They can't put two brain cells together. He says, whatever IQ measures, it's definitely not the ability to learn physical skills. I think Mikey knows this as well, but will basically write anything this dude wants. He probably paid several $100,000 in privates. Wow. How much money did he pay these guys? He's the modern day Ty Lopez from YouTube 10 years ago. He sells courses about becoming an entrepreneur. These guys make money by having a business selling you a business. In reality, it's just glorified BS you can find anywhere. They don't actually teach business strategy or how-tos, just how to think. Someone said Craig should invite him to do an exhibition, which he did. So Craig Jones he'd be lurking on Reddit. Does this guy's courses actually create value, or is it just another get rich quick course? I would be more concerned about whether the black belt and the achievement is supposed to represent adds more gravitas to him, misleading more regular people, working people dreaming of a better life into turning over 5K. Yeah, that's basically what's going to happen. And then once this guy uses that black belt to make a lot of money, where's Mikey going to be? That guy used to be a pickup artist coach. Oh no. Really? He was all over my Facebook ads a few years ago, and instead of using a picture of himself, he was posting a drawing of him because, as you can see in the picture, he's literally an org. Nobody questioned Gio or BJ because they were good. Here's Claudia. I mean, she compromised too, bro. All these UFC people compromise. You got him. Look at Moneyberg. You guys see Moneyberg he touched it on her feet. I don't know if Moneyberg messed that up or if Claudia messed that technique up. Why is she alone with Moneyberg? We don't know what she did to make some money from Moneyberg. Can you guys see that image? That's her foot. That's her leg right there. So that's our sport. You know, that's the girl that's in charge of the UFC BJJ. These guys have no integrity, talking about the value of a black belt and all that. But just because this guy is willing to give their sum of money, they are all willing to support him and give them something. They have all been preaching should be unreachable this way for years. I have heard of so many Gracie speeches about what a black belt is meant to represent just for Hoist to comment under his post saying he deserved the black belt. Don't listen to Hoist either. Truth is, they are all lying from the start. I don't think anyone actually cares about the value of black belts nowadays, not even the so-called forefathers of jiu-jitsu. It says the fact that Claudia tapped is just a cherry on top. Honestly, wouldn't expect much from her or the four promoting fathers on the original post, but Mikey shot himself in the foot with this one. I also wonder why Gordon is involved since he should have a very strong stance on belts and BJJ credibility and probably doesn't need money at this point. It says maybe the flip-flop company and Kingsway have left his wallet a bit slim. There's a great clip of Jake Shields on Rogan. There's this guy called Derek Moneyberg, super rich. He's been teaching me a lot about business. Like what? Loads of things. I got a t-shirt company now. All right, Jake Shields. The infamous reverse toe hold. I mean, yeah, this is all scam. Mikey's a part of a scam. Mikey and all those other UFC people, they trying to scam us. They think we're idiots, basically. As someone who used to like Mikey, I can't stand him lately. Says, I'm sorry you can't stand me for just standing up for my friend Derek, and I believe in what I believe in. Is that Mikey? I'm gonna downvote him. Not logged in. Dang it. Says, what do you believe in? Endorsing scammers? Mikey losing on every front. I believe Mikey been scamming us this whole time. I believe Mikey picked Harrison to fight. I believe Mikey's ducking everybody. He picked Harrison to fight because he knew he could beat Harrison. He knew Harrison didn't know any no-gi. Never did no-gi. Didn't know leg locks. I don't believe anything out of his mouth anymore. So I'm just going to assume he's lying about everything at this point. Says, dang, Mikey, you've made my opinion of you flip in about a week's time. Didn't even do anything terrible. It just sucks to see someone that seemed different end up being the same as the rest. Truth is, they are just trying to make a best of a living as possible, and I get that, but I personally wouldn't sell out like this to do it. The fact is, they didn't mind selling out because they don't actually care as much about it as they say they do, and that's mostly what I and the BJJ community in general have issues with. Social media is a game of reputation, connections, and money nowadays. And funnily enough, the only person in the comment section that had any balls to actually say that stuff out loud was Sean Strickland, because he actually doesn't care. Honestly, respect Sean. I might not like him as a person, but at least the man's honest. Sean Strickland was more honest than Mikey was. So yeah, I mean, I'm tired of talking about Moneyberg. Musamechi is the most annoying person in jiu-jitsu. You can't stand him. Well, he's also one of the dirtiest in the sport, apparently. Mikey can't win, bro. All this work and Mikey can't win. We Well, we already knew Mikey is a sellout because of the UFC deal. Says he's a scammer, seminar selling life coach grifter. Mikey embarrasses himself here. He didn't do anything wrong. In fact, he's given me money several times in the past. Oh, Mikey, bro. I think you guys tired of it. Let's see. Wait. God, my image of Mikey has changed so much over the past couple years. He seems to be all about integrity, but just whines or defends weird stuff these days. Even aligning himself with Jake Shields, whose podcast is one of the most vile things around in terms of views on women and race. Come on, Pasta Boy. This is lame. I'll join the echo chamber, post some rolling footage. Dude is a genius, Mikey. He talks over everyone. Makes people wear his shirt. Makes people wear shirts with his face on it and sounds like an imbecile. I mean, the fact that he makes people wear shirts with his face on it, that's a big red flag too. Yeah, all right. I'm tired of talking about Moneyberg. We talked about this yesterday. Buchecha, he